Welcome to Change of Scene. I'm Zach.
And I'm JJ.
Today we'll be reviewing El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, which is the epilogue to Breaking Bad.
This time, the story follows Jesse Pinkman's harrowing journey for freedom as he tries to escape from his past while confronting the consequences of his captivity and the violence that haunts him.
It takes place immediately after the series finale of Breaking Bad, so there will be spoilers for at least what happens in the series. It wastes no time explaining the characters' interactions that the audience would understand if they watched the show.
It was written, directed, and produced by Vince Gilligan, who also did the same stuff for Breaking Bad. And Aaron Paul plays Jesse Pinkman, who takes the focus of the story this time, instead of Walter or Saul. And the story really takes place right after Breaking Bad. And so Jesse is still traumatized and deeply scarred by his time in captivity in the neo-Nazi gang.
Jesse uses his freedom to process his past and search for a way to escape the violent world that he got himself into. The movie is very connected to the series, and instead of being juvenile and impulsive like in the series, Jesse is more broken and cold in this film.
This is a Breaking Bad movie, and so of course there is no lack of action and suspense. We see as much standoffs, fights, and explosions throughout. And Todd, who plays a big role in this film, who's played by Jesse Plemons, was acted well as a disturbingly cheerful psychopath. And the film really fits the genre as a neo-Western, as Alaska is considered the last frontier, and Jesse is on a sort of journey to escape to it.
Alaska. Start over. Start fresh. One could.
The film soundscape was quiet and slow for the most part. It was minimalist but effective, and it also had a lot of room tone. And this really helped to emphasize Jesse's isolation and really helped to build suspense.
Dave Porter, who composed the film's score, actually used elements of Western sounds for some of the scenes. He did this because Vince Gilligan, the film's director, wanted the scenes to be like the film, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
There's a lot of impressive camera work that we see throughout El Camino. We see a lot of wide shots and aerial shots, and a lot of top-down shots. And this also goes with the frequent shoulder shots and the conversations. These really help to add to the amazing action suspense scenes in the film.
The combined work of mid-shots, close-up shots, and wide shots all add to emphasizing Jesse's emotions throughout the whole film.
The Mayan scene of El Camino is very detailed, and we see that throughout some of the scenes, like the junkyard scene with all the paper and the cars throughout. There's a lot of detail. And the color palette is also very cleverly done. It features some yellowish, greenish, the dull colors throughout, the flashbacks and some of the darker moments in the film, and this really helps to contribute to the tense and gritty atmosphere.
In addition to that, the orange, dried-out heat of Albuquerque, New Mexico, really adds to the isolation and vastness that we see in the film. And another example is in Alaska, which is his final destination at the end. It's very white, which is symbolic of his new, true beginning.
El Camino's editing really has that classic Vince Gilligan Breaking Bad flair to it, with the perfect transitions that we see in the car video game, also the world book transition. The editing is also done very well to make the story very smoothly paced and unfold perfectly. Flashbacks in this film also are very bright, and they contrast with the other scenes, which are like the real-time scenes. And this is done to make the flashbacks seem brighter, both physically and emotionally. As a final rating for El Camino, I give it a 4.8 low taper fades out of 5. My only problem with El Camino is that it didn't come out sooner, and the actors have aged in the 5 years after Breaking Bad's finale, Felina, when El Camino was filmed, which was difficult to ignore. The amazing storytelling was fitting for the ending, and it didn't have any loose ends. And there were no cliches or convenient deus ex machinas, so Jesse really earned his ending.
This movie was pretty good.